Hello, good morning. We are in the course Colombian Education. My name is Elvis Tavares.
Hello, my name is Erika Congote.
Okay, hello, Erica. It's very nice to see you.
Yes, me too.
So, according to the activity guide, we have to develop some steps. Step number one it was about definitions. Each one of us has to choose a topic. I remember I have chosen education in Colombia, and you, Erika, you have chosen innovative education, Escuela Nueva. So in this moment, we are going to present a step four, which is the discussion panel. So can you start with your topic, Erika? Why have you chosen that one?
Hello, Elvis. I choose this topic because for me it's very interesting. Try to understand what is the role of the technology currently in the education. The most interesting information brings me by the video creating an innovative ecosystem for education, because I could reaffirm that the problem of education in Latin America is not only a matter of economic investment, but of change the way we do things. This is more important. We know education is the one that will lead us to a real social development. For this reason, it's necessary to accept that it must advance with the change imposed by the current society, which cannot be to everyone in the same way. All the students are different. That for the reason we can use the technology, for example, like as a key tool to achieve this and not see as an enemy, as many times have seen today. Um, the technology is a real resource that all the teachers can use in the classroom, in the design of our own material of teaching. Is important, but the teachers needs to how to use the technology for in this topic.
Yeah, that's true. That's something very important. Teachers must know about that. And something that keeps in my mind about you said is that it's not only about money. I mean, it's no use in giving a lot of money to improve education system if we don't know how to do it, if we don't innovate in the process. So it's been popular and it's known that sometimes all the budget that students or that institutions have, they don't use it properly because they don't have like innovating ideas or they don't have like new methods how to teach. So that money just get lost in translation, I think. Then when you say about technology, it's true. We cannot, as teachers, we cannot be afraid of that educational tool inside classrooms. You know that nowadays children and teenagers, they are very familiar to this kind of devices using the ICT tools all the times. So for that reason, we can apply those tools inside a classroom in a learning process for students. But the most
Yes.
important thing is not only like you say, we can have the money, yeah, but what about the teachers? They are afraid of using technology inside a classroom, or sometimes not afraid. Sometimes they don't receive the proper training for doing that, so they are like
Or,
distant from those process of
yes, yes. Or they
technology.
are not interested in technology because they see the technology as a rare enemy, is a problem, something for the other person, for the most younger. No, it's bad. It's a bad, but
Yeah,
they
that's true. And unfortunately, excuse me, people associate technology with social media. I mean, when you talk about technology, they just go to the social media, WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, or those kind. But you know that for there are a lot of applications with daily topics or different kind of subjects in which you can learn a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
but not only those kind of things. So for that reason, I think when you say taking like a student using a cell phone inside a classroom, you know that is because it's just the social media they are
Mhm.
going. But sometimes you can teach them how to use those kind of devices inside a classroom in a way that they can learn, I don't know, another language, for example, or
That's
another subject
great
in
too.
which they are interested in.
But the problem is if the educational environment don't use the technology for design the materials, for design the classroom, the environment of the classroom, and to properly use with the technology, the youngest people only use for social media and don't have the opportunity for use with other purpose with the
Yes.
biggest purpose for their own education, for example. And
Yes, I think that is the challenge we have as
it,
teachers. We have to innovate education by make them use those kind of tools they are familiar with.
and,
Yes.
and they can use for other kind of activities,
For-
not
Yes.
only chat. I want to add in this topic of technology and innovative. Um, we in the videos and the readings, I can I can understand too. Also, we like a teacher or in the environment in the educational community, we don't only need to bring to students a hard science, but also they need also technology, and they need emotional skills, and they need global competence, because the world that in the future, the world that will have to face is totally different than the real and currently world today.
Yeah.
And the teachers and the school have to prepare them for the future.
Yeah,
Eh,
that's true. You're talking there about the 21st century skills.
yes.
Yes.
And
That's
not
very
only with the technology, not only with the technology, with the other kind of
because
skills.
you know that, for example, a 21st century skill is about collaborative, excuse me, collabor. I don't know how to pronounce that word, like team group, like teamwork. Is
Yes,
the new 21st century skill. So it's not only about technology; it's about the new methods inside a classroom, how they can work. Like it's not now the teacher is not the center of the lesson. The student is the center of the learning process,
yes,
and it's something that very interesting you said about Escuela Nueva, that is the relevant to students daily life. I like that part of the videos because it's funny when you are learning something that you know that is going to be very helpful for your life. And if you go to the deep of this topic, the Escuela Nueva is being taken to the countryside of the country. You know, in the areas in which there is
rural,
no a lot
rural.
of is no too much technology and stuff. So for that reason, I think it's very innovative when it comes to daily topics because they are aware of the necessities or the needs they have in the daily life. And it's funny when you go to a school and you are learning the things you have to do in the afternoon with your family.
Yes, this kind of methodology, the Escuela Nueva, is is an example that the innovative way can transform the traditional schools and learning, and we can change the paradigm when we are teaching or we are apply a learning process with the students. This is excellent example. In this model, we can take any examples of this model for try to apply in other environment, because we can work or we can teach in different environments, rural environment, in the cities, in the middle class, and the rich people. You don't know. You can try to apply in the different ambient environment. What is the interest, the most interest for the students? What is the most important for them? What is the key for you can get your mind, your heart? And if you can reach this, you can
And
try to explain.
something that just it's very interesting about this topic, which is Escuela Nueva, that it takes into account the special needs of students. Special education needs are very important nowadays because we have to be inclusive. So for that reason, like innovating in the education system by teaching relevant daily life topics to the students, they are going to feel more confident about their competences, and their learning process is going to be significant for them. So I think it's very interesting discussing about this kind of escuela nueva innovation.
Yes, this is the success of the Escuela Nueva, and has inspired other developing countries in the world. It's a good example of how we can shift the paradigm. About the innovative, that's it for now.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay.
what is your topic,
So, yeah,
Elvis?
Erika, I was reading about a very interesting topic that is called education in Colombia. And it's true, when they come to the final results about the comparisons they make about education system in Colombia between the other countries. And in the video that I watched, they said that the problem is that Colombia is being compared against the biggest, against the best countries, talking about economical status or talking about education improvement. So for that reason, I think it's not fair if we make that comparison against those countries. But just making a very exhaustive reading about the topic, I identified that there has been an improvement since the 60s here in Colombia, which I didn't know. And it's funny because you think that sometimes everything is bad, it's going down the hill, but no, it's not true. The progress has been like very slow, but
Yes, slow but
there has been,
progress.
yeah, there has been a progress. You know that, for example, between 1966 and 1986, the government funding to the sector of education increased. So it means that they start to pay more attention to the education and to give more money. That is very delicate topic when you talk about money, because sometimes it's not used, the money is not used properly. But according to the progress in education in Colombia, in 2002, the government launched Revolución Educativa. So you know that the primary schools, the government said that they were going to be free for all children. So it was a nice improvement in Colombia, because now children can go or could go to school in those days. Then in 2010, the public primary schools free of charge. For me, that is very important, because you know that the economical situation of Colombia is not the best. So for that reason, there are a lot of poor families. They don't have opportunities to have like the contact with education.
Mhm.
So I think this was a very nice idea of making public primary schools free for all those kind of people.
Yes.
Um,
And I am thinking about, you are talking about And if for example, if you remember how was your the situation for your parents, your grandparents, you can compare how can you get now compared with they get in the past. They,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
example,
it's true.
in my case, my grandparents or my parents, they didn't have a complete education. For example, in primary and or in
Yeah,
secondary,
yeah,
my grandmother, they didn't can complete
yeah,
the
yeah, it's true.
secondary. Yeah, and in these years there were a normal situation. Today is a is the minimal step that you can take for your career or for your future. Is a primary is the minimum. Secondary is other step, but you need you are to currently you are thinking in more and more education every time, and the children and the people can get more education than the other years in 80s, 90s, 60s.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah,
different.
that's true because it's true what you said. Nowadays, you can see like in a school, children or even teenagers whose parents are professionals. They have
Yes,
the minimum is a bachelor degree or something like that, but most of them they are just going to universities as well. So I think that is a good improvement we have now because if we
yes,
made that comparison, it's true. Even our grandparents or parents they didn't finish high school or they didn't they or if they did they didn't go to college.
yes,
So another thing that is very interesting and it's very like I don't know how to say it's overwhelming here in Colombia because I can see the results, but the Ministry of Education launched the National Bilingual Program, and it was in 2004. Remember that it wanted to be like the president wanted Colombia to be bilingual by 2019. I remember,
wow,
but then
great goal.
it didn't happen. So they say, okay, let's go to 2025, like 2025.
More time,
So
more
for
time.
that reason, yeah, we need it's a very slow progress about the bilingual process, but it's something that is making the difference because you know that now most of schools they are just like improving the subject the topics in English, improving the methods of teaching or learning English nowadays. So I think this is a progress we have to take into account. The bilingualism in Colombia is starting to spread, but I think it's very slow. And I don't like because if you go, for example, to an European country, you know that they could speak their own language, but they speak English as a second language. And
Their language.
the
So
reason is because they have the
it's
culture spread around. But here in Colombia, we have the idea. I mean, the all the campaigns, all the programs they design, they have the idea of make us bilingual, but they don't give us the culture the English culture, excuse me. For example, if you go to the cinema, the movies are gonna be with the in Spanish.
in Spanish.
You're not gonna find even Spanish subtitles. No, they're gonna be dubbed in Spanish. So for that reason, I think the culture, the progress, the process, it's been very, very slow about
Slow,
the
because we
bilingualism.
are in Colombia. We are not in contact with the second language
Second,
like
yeah,
in other countries. In other countries, you can see, for example, the signal, the traffic signal or the traffic information into language in the local language and in English. This is a good because you can see you can taste the other language every day.
Yeah, so talking about the Ministry of Education about improving this program, I think it's funny when they want to bring a lot of native speakers to teach here. And it's funny because what is happening with Colombian teachers, like they can also be English teacher. But if the government wants to bring Native American people here, it means that we have to go away as well if we want
Better.
to learn or to teach. Uh, but I think we have to see the difference. There is an improvement in Colombian education. Is for me is slow. It's a slow progress, but I think you can make the difference. It does not matter which institution you can go. Like it could be public institution, it could be private institution, they could be any kind of pedagogical method, constructivism or traditional methods of teaching. But I think you, as a teacher, individually, you can make the difference using technology, the ICT tools inside a classroom, having a training because you know that a teacher never stops learning. So, and you said that, for example, if we are going to apply technology inside a classroom, we have to know about the use and the resources we need to apply those topics inside a learning room.
Yes, Elvis, I agree with you because you are you are talking about very important topics. For example, with the we are in a level very down that we can reach, but
Yeah,
it, we if we have we have a comparison with other countries that what the with the our same level, we can say that we are better.
yeah, it's
We
true.
need, but we
It's true.
need in this range we need to improve and improve and improve. The problem is we are going to very slow in this improving, but is important. It's important because we can stay in a better place, in a better situation in the future. But only when did you see the commitment of the teacher. The teacher no play a better role in the education. Is very difficult. We can get a better level. Is
Yeah, that's true.
how we say is not a problem only for the investment of money. It is important. It's important, and we need the money, more investment, but we need to open mind of the teachers,
Yeah,
of the schools, of the directors of the schools, of the administrators of the schools. Every community, everybody in the community, in the education community, needs to open mind and needs to get involved in the process because it's a process very important for the society, for each individual. I need we,
absolutely.
we can shift the paradigm if we can involve it in the problem.
Yeah, it's true. I think as a conclusion to this panel discussion, we can think, in my opinion, I can say that everything is not lost, that we have to make a very fair comparison, because if we just compare Colombia with our neighbors, for example, if we compare Colombia with countries in the same situation, economical situation or political situation, we can see the difference, and we can see that we have made an improvement, and it is significant according to education system, according to education methods as well, because that now the government is just paying attention in in the the results of the tests the students are just applying. So that when education system in a country is going up, the economic is going up as well. So for that reason, I think the improvement is you can see the improvement in education in Colombia, and you can see as well the positive impact that innovative education can do in Colombia.
Yes, and we are working for this. We are commitment
Our goal.
with this objective.
Okay, Erika, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having this discussion with you. Very like, unfortunately, the other partners or classmates couldn't be here with us, but we just made the invitation for them. I hope they are okay. And thank you, Erika, very much.
Thank you, Elvis. See you next step. Bye.
Okay, see you then. Bye.